The cameras are rolling. All right. In front of me, I have two very incredible items. One is he or hi, however you say that. The other is 3 weeks old lettuce that's been sitting in the trash can that I asked him to pick out specifically for me. It carries with it an aroma. Both of them do, actually. And this aroma that kind of leaves out of these things do one of two things. Now, some of us, we don't mind smelling old food until we're full. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You're full, and all of a sudden you smell some old stinky food, and all of a sudden you want to let it all up. Some perfumes can come too weak or too strong. But ultimately, the reason we actually use perfumes is to draw people to us. Has anybody noticed that?
Yep. I do that.
We don't put on anything. As a matter of fact, if you put on something that makes people run, you're doing it wrong, baby. I'm sorry. You're just doing it wrong. You need some help. Just talk to your counselor, and they'll tell you how to do it right. Some of us have been accustomed to bad smells. Has anyone ever had a bad smell in your house? They got so bad that you got used to it. Like grandma moved in with you, and she has a certain dish that she likes to cook. And she cooks it daily, and all of a sudden the smell goes into the walls, and it goes into the carpets, and it goes into the linens, and then all of a sudden, like pig's feet, exactly. And after grandma's cooking those great things, and you're so appreciative, you love grandma, but nobody has the heart to say, grandma, they stink. And so all of a sudden you forget about it, and all of a sudden you get used to, you get acclimated to the smell. That's what happens with aromas. We often get acclimated to it. If you have an animal, you know what I'm talking about. That thing is peeing on the carpet, it's peeing in the room, it's peeing everywhere, and all of a sudden you're like bad Fruity or Foofy or whatever the dog's name is. Princess or Rover. Whatever the name of your dog is, you're saying bad, and you're cleaning it up. Over time, you may not recognize it, but it starts to stink. And over time, you get acclimated to the smell, and you don't recognize that you cannot smell it anymore. And your friends come over and say, behold, something's sticking. And you're like, what are you talking about? Leadership is influence.
Right.
And influence is very, very similar in the fact that it's one of those things that people are either drawn to us or repelled by us. Some of us, I'm sorry to say, because of your leadership ability, your lack of training, and your attitude, stink. Now, physically, you smell beautiful. You smell like sun roses in the morning, sunflowers in the morning, and roses at night. But you stink. Because your attitude repels people. Y'all don't know anybody like this, do you? If you sit next to them, don't say anything. But your attitude has driven people away. Listen to me when I say this, because I really want you to hear me on this one. When every single one of your friends over the last year has had a problem with you, the problem is you. Listen to what I'm saying. When every single one of your friends, every single one of your friends has a problem with you, the problem is you. I know we've always got excuses why it is 6 billion people against one. But 6 billion people ain't wrong. And at some point, if one person says it, okay, I understand it. If 2 people say it, maybe they had a good reason. If your family is saying it, then, everybody get on their nerves. But when every single person you know tells you got a problem, I'm sorry. You have a problem. And it is time to stop blaming everybody else and start to assess your own attitude. If you recycle friends faster than you recycle the trash, you need to do an attitude check. Because a person that has influence, a real leader, draws people to them. A good leader draws people to them. If you are a leader, people are drawn to you because you don't stink. Leaders figure out how to put a little perfume on, how to brush their teeth just right, how to do things that draw people to them. That is the gift of leadership. When you have the ability to look at people around you, and you're not looking for what's wrong with people, because that's what a follower does.
Right.
People that smell like this, that's what they do. They're looking at everybody around them to find out what the faults they can find with people. They live with a cynical and a critical eye. They consistently criticize, condemn, and complain. I know you guys don't know anybody like this, but I know people that complain about everything. If it's raining outside, they complain about the rain. When it's sunny outside, they complain about the heat. When it's winter outside, they complain about the cold. They have learned the secret of complaining about everything. And I don't know if you know this or not, and because you don't, and because I have a microphone and I'm not talking to you one-on-one, so I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I don't know if you know nobody likes to get crap dumped all over them by their friends all the time. So if you're complaining about everything all the time, have you ever stopped that people just don't like to hear it? Now, I know there's some trash cans that love to hear trash. That's why they're trash cans. They're drawn towards gossip. They only want to hang with people that talk negative, that tear down and condemn. But can you really trust a person like that? If all they're attracted to is gossip, if your friends listen to you gossip all day long, do you think they don't say stuff about you when you're not around? Can you really trust a person like that? Behold, thou stinkest. And what I'm trying to help you do, and look, I'm only trying to help you because I love you. What I want to help you do is to get rid of the stink, to put it away. You can smell it later on, but not right now. And what we want to do is we want you to teach you the secret of smelling good. Not physically, because all of y'all, all y'all smell good. Did nobody stink today? So, I don't know about tomorrow, but everybody smells good today. I'm not talking about your looks, because everybody looks good in here. Just go ahead and smile. Say cheese. I've been looking at your photos, and yes, some of you have to do some retakes, but don't worry about that. Everybody look good. I see the real deal, so I don't have to look at the photograph and judge you about that, all right? I see the real deal. And so we're not talking about looks and physical smells. We're talking about your ability to draw people to you. Because if you're going to lead well, you're going to have to draw people to you. And I can assure you, if you never complain another day of your life, if you never criticize another day of your life, if you never condemn another day in your life, I can assure you that no one will miss it. I want you to think about that. No one will miss your criticisms. No one will miss your complaining. No one will miss your condemning of other people or other things or the weather or whatever you complain about. But one thing I can assure you, that if you will uplift, encourage, and bless with your mouth, you will have more friends than you can count on. You will have friends running to you so fast, working with you so hard, willing to follow you anywhere, because there are so few people that have that gift of blessing with their mouth. Encouraging people. See, this is what we do when we get around people, and I want to challenge you, because I know this is, I've been around a few years. I've been around 30-some years, and I know I know for a fact that when you walk into an environment, there are people, they're doing tests. All of us, scientists, evaluating. This is the pecking order. She has a gap in her mouth. She wears shoes that are too bright. Oh my goodness, why would she wear that? And we are drawing a list in order to judge, to make us feel better about ourselves. His jump shot is black. You think he all that? Shoot. He a bum. We're looking at people with a judgmental eye in order to feel better about ourselves because we don't believe deep down that we're good enough all by ourselves and we can stand on our own 2 feet and nobody can touch us because we are uniquely designed and made. And I know some of us, we're just artists. Artists, that's what we are. We can tear down people at the drop of a hat. We have voices in our head saying some of the funniest things. Cat Williams? And we could roast a 30-pound turkey. We are so good and so gifted at tearing other people down. We are so good at lashing out with our tongue, and I can assure you that it's funny for a moment, but nobody ever feels the blades after being cut. And they may not say anything with their mouth, but they won't forget you cut. You will never, or people will never miss you criticizing, condemning, and complaining, but they will always remember you if you will bless, encourage, and touch people with your life. And that's the difference between leaders and followers. Followers don't care. People who don't want to lead, they don't care what people think about them when they condemn them, they complain about them, and criticize them. They don't care what people think when they're just constantly just yak, 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 yak. But deep down, they really do care. But a leader is going to raise up and say, you know what? Today's going to have to be a different day. I'm going to invite you to a world where you are not in a world that tears other people down, but you find a way to build them up. That's what influence is. It's people following you. As John Maxwell, he claims his favorite leadership proverb is that he who thinks he leads but has no one following him is only taking a walk. Being a leader requires people following you. And some of us think we're such a leader because I'm the first one to raise my hand, or I'm the first one in line, I'm the first one this, I'm the first one that. Leadership requires people to follow you. We're going to teach you how to get people to follow you. Some of you are already outstanding leaders. We're going to teach you how to refine those skills to get more people to follow you. But listen to what I'm saying. You will not succeed in leadership if you are tearing people down. You will have to learn how to build people up. That's what influence is.
So Steve gives us a working definition